Welcome to Cozy Noah Vibes, the podcast where we listen, relax, and drift into a peaceful sleep. I'm Noah, and I want to begin tonight by expressing our deep appreciation for every one of you joining me right now. Whether it's the first time you're here or you're a regular listener, I want you to know that you're always welcome. Here, you can feel safe, comfortable, and ready to let go of everything else. Together, we'll spend some time relaxing, using our imaginations to picture soothing scenes and gentle stories. Tonight's story is a simple one, taking place after the sun has set. We'll unwind with a calming evening routine, enjoying the quiet comforts of a cozy home. As we prepare for sleep, let's reflect on the day, the small joys, and the familiar routines that bring us peace. Before we start our story, take a moment to think back on your day. Remember when you woke up this morning and got out of bed. Maybe you had a cup of coffee or tea, or perhaps you took some time to care for your family or yourself. You might have gone for a walk, spent time with loved ones, or simply enjoyed a moment of quiet. Our days are filled with routines like these, which offer us structure and comfort. Sometimes, something new or unexpected happens, and we find ourselves adjusting and seeking balance. In tonight's story, we'll follow a familiar routine, watching the house grow dark as the day fades and preparing for a restful night's sleep. Even if this isn't your exact routine, I hope you'll find it soothing to join me as I read to you tonight. After all, the motions we go through in our minds are just as meaningful as those we physically experience. Now, let's begin our story. Just after sunset, right here at home, the last few people are pulling into their driveways for the night as the gentle chorus of evening sounds drifts across the land. The light outside the living room window begins to fade, casting a soft orange glow on the house across the street. The distant sky is a blend of prairie rose pink and feathery white clouds, slowly drifting above the horizon. Take a deep breath in, hold it for just a moment, and then release, feeling a wave of calm wash over you. Inside the house, the shadows grow long, and your eyes have already begun to adjust to the dim light of dusk. The colors of the sofa and chairs are now muted, and the wood of the table appears more gray than brown. The details of the room soften, with lines and edges blurring as night approaches. Looking up, you notice the shadow of a chair's back stretching across the ceiling. Follow it down to the chair itself and the small nightlight flickering on behind it. The tiny bulb, attached to a socket at ankle height, casts a subtle blue glow over the floor at the edge of your vision. On the back wall, the bookcase stands tall, with rows and rows of brightly colored books that now look softer in this gentle light. Their spines appear like vertical lines in an abstract painting, with uneven edges and different heights standing side by side on the long horizontal shelves. On top of the bookcase sits a potted plant with curling leafy tendrils hanging down below the highest shelf. In the daylight, the plant is a vibrant green, but in the twilight haze, it almost looks like something out of the oceana, sweeping rope of seaweed diving deep beneath the waves, perhaps in a mermaid's library, or maybe it's just the reflection of a vine on the surface of a glassy lake. Each leaf stands out as a dark shadow on a curlicule stem, and one by one, they climb down to the topmost shelf, a ladder of dark growth stretching toward the ground. In the diminishing light, your imagination begins to take root, seeing shapes that exist only in dreams. You walk over to the small wooden table by the cozy armchair, which looks as plush and inviting as ever. On top of the table is a lamp with a frosted glass shade, painted with the image of an idyllic seaside village. You grasp the dangling brass chain beneath the shade with your fingertips and pull. With a soft click, the lamp floods the room with light. The same light shines through the seaside village, bringing it to life. The windows in the quaint little cottages glow with morning sunlight. Seagulls fly across a powder blue sky as puffy white clouds float above. A lighthouse perches on the rocky shore, its red and white stripes leading up to a pointy top. The bulb inside provides a dazzling beacon for all the tiny boats that dance across the waves below. As you gaze at this painted scene, your imagination takes over. You can almost hear the cry of the gulls as they soar above, and you can nearly feel the cool sea breeze blowing through your hair, with the taste of salt on your tongue. The warmth of the sun touches your cheeks and arms as waves crash against the rocks, sending plumes of spray into the air. Drops of water are caught by the wind, carried to your skin as a soft mist. You smile, thinking of how wonderful it would be to step into this picture, into the seaside town, and spend a day there. You might climb to the top of the lighthouse and watch the sailboats glide across the sea, or perhaps you'd visit one of the cottages, where the smell of a home-cooked meal would delight your senses. But instead, you watch as the lampshade projects the images of this scene on the wall behind it. The same boats drift like glided shadows along the white painted backdrop, leaving the seaside village in lamp behind. You walk over to the window. Outside, the streetlights have come on, casting pools of orange light on the ground around them. As you watch, the lights of other houses flicker to life: porch lights, fairy lights, kitchen lights, all blending together to create a soft, glowing atmosphere. After taking a final glance at the restful scene outside, you reach up and close the blinds, then pull the curtains shut behind them. The room is now a cozy haven, insulated from the night beyond. You turn and walk into the kitchen. The dishes are already clean and stacked in the drying rack, and the overhead light glints off the shiny silver bottom of a pot turned upside down. You're grateful this everyday task is already finished, a satisfying reminder of a job well done. There might be a few cups or glasses left on the counter, but you don't mind. There will be plenty of time to get to those tomorrow. You remind yourself that whatever you accomplish today is enough, and tomorrow will bring a whole new array of possibilities. The counters are wiped clean, and the dish towels are hung to dry on the stove handle. One towel has a picture of a black and hided spotted cow ending on a patch of grass, with rolling green hills completing the scene, along with a golden bell around the cow's neck. It's a happy picture, you think, and a relaxing one. The other towel is plain olive green, made of terry cloth with small raised squares like a quilt. It feels nice to dry your hands on that one, and you're always happy when it comes out fresh from the laundry. You glance from appliance to appliance over the stove and toaster, to the electric kettle and refrigerator. You see the coffee pot, clean and ready to deliver a steaming cup tomorrow morning. Next to it is a bag of freshly roasted coffee beans and a jar full of tea bags. It's nice to enjoy a cup of tea in the mornings, too, or in the afternoon when you need a sip of something rejuvenating. You look over at the dining room table. In the center is a curvy glass vase with a small cluster of flowers standing in water. The blooms are pink, red, and yellow, surrounded by rough, fern-like leaves on delicate stems. The smell of flowers fills the air, mingling with the lingering scent of dinner cooked hours ago. Together, these aromas make you think of home. Home means different things to different people, but here, in this place, it is comfort and security. It's the stability of routine, knowing where the dishes and cutlery go, and where to find the little pieces of scrap paper when you need to write a note. With the tip of your finger, you flick the light switch. In an instant, the room is dark. It takes your eyes a few moments to adjust. When they do, you see that everything looks a little bigger now. The refrigerator seems wider, and the kettle taller than before. What a wonder it is how the quality of light can change perceptions of ordinary objects. You look down at your hands and can barely make out the individual lines of your fingers held out in front of you. With the lights turned off, it's time to get ready for bed. You return to the lamp with the seaside village and pull the brass chain again. The light goes out, and you imagine the village settling down for the night, just like you. Entering the bedroom, you find your pajamas and change into them, enjoying the cozy feeling of soft material against your skin. Then, you move to the bathroom and brush your teeth. You've always found this to be a mindful task, the repetitive motion, the subtle sensations of bristles on your teeth. It's a moment to pause as the day winds down. You take a sip of water, not only to hydrate but to enjoy the feeling of a freshly cleaned mouth. Then, you turn off the light and head back to the bedroom. In the bedroom, you follow the same routine, flicking off the light with your fingertips and turning on the small lamp on the bedside table. It casts a small circle of light just where you sleep. The table is small and stands at the same height as the bed. On top, you keep a glass of water and the book you're currently reading. The bedside table has a drawer in it, but it's always kept shut. There's nothing you need from it tonight. Instead, you focus on the book. It's the kind of book you can read a little bit of each night, knowing that the story will be waiting for you again the next evening. The book's hardcover is protected by a removable paper dust jacket that you always set aside while reading. The front of the jacket is simple, with the title written in elegant gold letters on a plain cream-colored background. Before you open the book, you gaze at the pages that wait patiently for you to return. Their tops are bound together in a gentle curve, and you find the place where you left off. You can't help but run a finger along the book's spine, feeling its bumps and ridges, noticing how worn the cover has become over time. You pick it up and feel the weight of the book in your hands. It's a comforting weight, familiar and safe, something you've held and cherished for so long. You begin to read, slowly turning each page. One by one, the words transport you to another world, just as they always do. You read with ease, with comfort, with joy, and as you read, You begin to relax even more. The comfort of routine and the stillness of the evening wrap around you like a warm blanket. Soon, the words on the page begin to blur, and you find yourself nodding off, the book slipping from your hands. You place it down gently on the table and turn off the lamp. Lying back on your pillow, you pull the covers up to your chin and close your eyes. The last thing you hear is the faint rustle of the trees outside the window. The night breeze is lulling you to sleep. I hope you enjoyed this simple evening story and that it helped you relax after a long day. Now, as you drift off to sleep, let your mind carry you to a peaceful place, filled with comfort and warmth. Sleep well, and may tomorrow bring you fresh energy and new opportunities. Good night.